Hello, this is CK7, and we're back for another commentary, this time the Movie Villain Wars Round 4. It's a pretty interesting round, although I might not have that much to say on it because a lot of the stuff that goes on here I'm not that familiar with, but we'll see how I do. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So, hold on, let me turn down the volume for a second. Just a few volume modifications. Okay, so we start off with this little prelude at a bar. Pretty much you got a little montage of villains here. This Alex character, who I think we saw in a previous round, but I can't remember what movie you said he's from. And this one character from Kill Bill, Volume 1. And here we get the introduction of Bullseye, which I guess I could kind of see how he got that name. And there's Bill the Butcher and that psychopath from The Shining. And then Storm Shadow comes in. That's a very interesting, well, whatever it's supposed to be on his forehead, like a tattoo or just an impression of a dart or board or something. And so we get our first fight, Bullseye versus Storm Shadow. I understand that Bullseye's from Daredevil, the same movie that Kingpin is from. Again, like I said before, never seen Daredevil, so, yeah. Sort of watching at the moment. He never misses, huh? I guess that must make it tick off. Yeah, I noticed that they both have the similar kind of, knife-throwing things that they throw at. Can't remember what they're called, but, you know, those... Okay, nice use of the merge tool there, but yeah. So I guess Bullseye escapes. Here we go to Imhotep versus Tot, or how you pronounce his name. So I guess, yeah, Blackwood tells Imhotep about how he can become, you know, his full, you know, mortal self, I guess, I don't know. And when I heard this was going to be one of the fights, I already knew what was going to happen. You know, I have not seen the first Mummy movie in a long time. I don't remember much from it. But, I have seen them. I do have the Mummy Return, so I do remember from that. And I gotta say, Todd's death scene has got to be one of the creepiest death scenes in any of the Indiana Jones villains. Yeah, that was well edited, though, with the merge tool. And we go to Prince Nuada versus the Gergen. I understand that Nuada is from Hellboy 2, and that the Gergen's from Highlander. I will say, though, this kind of threw me off a little. Well, not the fight, but the appearance of the Gergen, because We saw this guy in Disney vs. Non-Disney Villains Part 2, Round 7, the live-action round, where he fought Cat and Hook. But the thing is, though, he looked nothing like this. He looked totally different. He had that weird, like, skull thing on his head, and he had long black hair. He looked nothing like this guy. So I'm just wondering, are there two Gergens? Is this the same guy but a different form of him? Like, what's the deal there? Speaking of Highlander, though, I don't know if you're familiar with the 2007 animated movie called Highlander: The Search for Vengeance, but I've actually recently seen that one. And yes, it was pretty violent and etc., but it had a pretty interesting storyline about how the main character is immortal and he's lived 2,000 years, and throughout those 2,000 years he's spent to kill this assassin who basically murdered his wife. It's actually a pretty sad story to think he spent all those years over grief and sorrow and hatred and stuff. But it was a very interesting storyline. Although I've never seen the 1986 Highlander, so I don't know what to tell from that. But from what I can tell, it's a similar premise. Yes, they're immortal, but I guess they can only die if you slice their head off. That's pretty much what happened in the animated film. I mean, if you want to check out the animated Highlander movie, I have it on the non-Disney Villain Tournament board under a link. It has a link on YouTube if you want to check it out. Might want to do it before someone gets rid of it. Get rid of the video. And here we have Bane versus Kingpin. So we get this Le Chef dude from Casino Royale meet up with Kingpin. And I have to agree with History Buff when he was doing one of his commentaries on Disney vs. Marvel. The Kingpin in Daredevil and the Kingpin from the Spider-Man cartoons look totally different. Because this Kingpin, he's, of course, Michael Clark Duncan, and he's very muscular and strong, whereas the Kingpin in the cartoon is, well, you know, white, and he's really fat, and he has a really tiny head. So yeah, it's kind of strange. Very well edited fight, though. It makes it look like Kingpin is really throwing Bane around the room. I have not seen The Dark Knight Rises. I'm assuming that's where Bane is from. You know, the villain with the weird thing over his mouth. I mean, my cousins said they've seen it, and they said it was pretty good. And then we go to Andrew Scott versus Ozymandias, I guess. And like a lot of times in this tournament, two villains not familiar with from two movies not familiar with. Never seen Watchmen, never seen Universal Soldier, I think is the other movie. So yeah, I don't really have that much to say on this fight other than it's well edited and that it's pretty violent and brutal.
Give me a name!
And finally we have Captain Spaulding versus the Joker's men. Which, this kind of confused me a little about what was going on. Like, the clowns that burst into the place, are they the Joker's men? And as in the Joker's men, are they just random clowns? Are they his men from the original Dark Knight movie? Or are they his henchmen, Norman Stansfield, the guy from The Shining, and the guy from American Psycho? That's what I'm kind of wondering, what's going on. Or are they just clowns from the same movie that Spaulding's from, which I believe is called The House from a Thousand Corpses?
I ought to jump over this counter and bash your fucking balls in.
So yeah, that's what kind of threw me off a little with this fight. Like, what's going on, and who the do you mean by Joker's men exactly? And I will say, after watching this fight, I kind of realized why a lot of people do not like clowns or are afraid of clowns. Because of characters like Pennywise and this guy. Because this guy is seriously creepy. Not to mention he's got really horrible language. Yeah, I mean, like right here where you had the edited scene of the mask over one of the characters. I think it was Norman Stansfield, I'm not positive. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of wondering. And now we go to the epilogue. Where, go away. Sorry, that message keeps popping up, will not go away. So Imhotep is now his form again with Anux Samaroon. And then Molaron comes in. I was wondering when he was going to show up. Probably one of the most psychopathic Indiana Jones villains. Anyway, here we have Loki with Zorg. And TX and Clue is finally here. And these arachnid villains, not familiar with them. And Megatron. About time we saw another Disney live-action villain, because so far we've only seen Judge Doom, and now we have Clue. Even though I've not seen Tron Legacy. Okay, that guy is really creepy looking. And Bane, who is very disfigured, gets repaired by Dr. Satan, I think, who's also from that film that Captain Spaulding's from, I think, I don't know. And we have Dracula meet up with whoever the heck these guys are.
Join us. We would be delighted to utilize your skills. Won't you consider staying with us?
And whoever these guys are as well. Unless they're in the same movie that Dracula's from, because I have not seen Van Helsing, so... And we have Selena with Grievous and Boba Fett. Along with the Predators and the aliens. And we got Nuada with the Nazlugs, or whatever they're called. Some guy with pointy shoes, I guess. I don't know. I think that they're from Lord of the Rings, if I remember correctly. And we got this Alex character again with Buffalo Bill and Tooth Fairy allied with Jigsaw. Basically a bunch of villains I'm not that familiar with. I mean, I know who Jigsaw is from the Saw movies, but these other guys I'm not really all that too familiar with. I think we saw them in previous rounds, at least Alex we did. Okay, that guy is seriously creepy looking, the way he stares. So yeah, that was round 4 of the Movie Villain Wars. Sorry, Zero the Killer, if I didn't have that much to say. It was a good round, don't get me wrong, it was a very good round, it's just nothing really, you know, sticks out too much, exactly. But I understand that you were originally going to have a fight between the villain from the Golden Compass and the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3 fight, but I guess that fight did not work out. So, you know, but I do hope to see the Spinosaurus eventually, because I love the Jurassic Park movies, and I think some of the villains that are in the movies do deserve to make some appearance. So yeah, this is CK7, and have a nice day.